What's up guys, my name is Liam and today we're going to be taking a look at the Fantech Aria XD7. This has been a cool little mouse, but how does it stack up against the competition? Let's check it out. Alright guys, so here we have the Fantech Aria XD7. It comes with a 3395 sensor, it comes with the Kale 8.0 switches, a TTC Gold encoder. So pretty decked out, and honestly what Fantech did with this mouse, when they announced this mouse, I was totally excited about it. And the reason I was so excited is you gotta love when a company is, trying to be really enthusiastic about the gaming market, catering to people's demands and needs. And to be completely honest with you, the Razer Orichi caught me by surprise. When Razer announced the Orichi V2, I was hesitant on picking it up, but one day, I got kind of bored and I decided to go grab it since it wasn't a very expensive mouse. And I immediately fell in love with it. Since I like the Orichi so much, I was just like, man, somebody should really come out with a pro version of this mouse. Almost basically what the Aria Fantech XD7 is here. And I do want to tell you guys right off the bat that, I've had a great time with this mouse. So 61 grams, but that is with the solid shell. This does come with an optional honeycomb shell on the top. And I thought I wouldn't mind that honeycomb shell, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because I got so used to the Orichi not having holes in the top, it really did bother me. So I didn't think it'd be a big deal, but I swapped out the shell and I was just like, man, I just feel so much better and so much more comfortable. When I'm using this mouse, I do kind of use a pincer claw grip on here. Aside from that, I think the quality feels phenomenal. So let's go ahead and drop a sound test on the switches and everything, and we'll be right back to talk about the results. All right, guys, so as you can see, there are no major issues. Hardly any pre-travel on the side switches, on the left and right front switches. The scroll wheel feels great. So overall, this mouse is just solid, and it's really taken me by surprise with how great that Fantech has created of a product here. So I'm really impressed. So right now, this mouse is $78 on Amazon, and I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description if you guys want to check it out or pick this up off of Amazon. But overall, yeah, it's just an absolute banger. I don't really have too many complaints about it. One thing that is kind of weird about this mouse, not that it's a big deal, I figured I'd just bring it up. I use this mouse quite a bit. I game with it. I use it to edit videos and stuff like that. So I got really deep with it. This flap right here is kind of weird. I felt like when I was just messing around, like with my grip style or something, like it's kind of easy to get your finger under there and actuate. Whereas you don't really, you never have the problem like that with the Orichi. But yeah, overall, just great experience. Mouse feels great. Balancing on this thing is absolutely phenomenal. Even left to right is on point. So yeah, just overall incredible experience. The 3395 sensor feels great. I love this mouse. I would like them to keep going with this mouse, see what they can do with it. And who knows, maybe we'll see more of a pro version down in the future. Maybe they'll try and get lighter weight, something like that. But really cool stuff. Everybody that's made a video about this mouse, they just make it with the Orichi, and they always just compare it to the Orichi. And you know how we like to do things on this channel. I like to take things a bit deeper. So we're going to dive, and we're going to go into other shapes and stuff like that and see how it compares across the board against everything. So anyways, the Orichi is phenomenal. One thing I want to point out on this, I'm not sure, I haven't seen too many people talk about it, but one of the big differences on these two is the sensor placement, as you can see there. The Orichi does have that sensor way up there and towards the front, whereas the sensor placement on the Aria is right there in the middle. So I have a AAA battery on here, and there are tons of mods that are out there for this mouse. Like you can I see people cutting the shell apart on the inside and stuff like that. I was actually going to mod this mouse, but I just never got around to it. So many other offerings have come on the market, and I just got so busy, I just never really got around to it. And I am satisfied with other current offerings on the market as well. So this mouse is a lot cheaper though. I believe it's like $48. But again, you have to worry about if you don't mod it yourself. First off, if you do mod it yourself, you have to spend the money to do it. And then on top of that, if you don't mod it yourself, you got to worry about changing out the battery, stuff like that, and you don't have to worry about that with the Aria. So as you can see here, overall the Aria is a bit bigger. Every dimension of it, it's slightly longer, it's slightly taller, it's slightly wider. Actually, you know what? Yeah, it is just a little bit wider. So I love the Orichi. And like I said, this is the biggest reasons why I was excited to pick this up. And at first, I thought that I didn't really like the size of this being bigger because I was so used to Orichi. I kind of like how the Orichi sits just a little bit lower, but overall, I do like the width on this a little more. And again, now that I've gotten used to using this quite a bit, the size difference doesn't really bother me that much. I've gotten really used to it. One of my dreams is that one day that Razer will. And it's probably never going to happen because we waited years for the Viper Mini, which most people still can't even get to this time. But I think it would be the sweetest thing ever if Razer came out with the Orichi Pro. I think a lot of people would be excited about that. If they do come out with a version and offer 4K with their optical switches, man, I'd be lined up to grab that copy. So let's break it down really quick so we can do a shape comparison. Drop that for you. And again, the weight difference on the Orichi, I'll do it for you guys really quick. Of course, it can vary based on what kind of battery you put in it, but if you got a AAA in there. This is just a regular AAA. You can get a lithium, and the lithium AAA, I had a lithium in it when I was using it, and I think that got it down to like around 64 grams, something like that. So yeah, if you are using the Orichi, make sure you get a lithium AAA battery if you're not going to get an external battery to mod it yourself. All right, on to the next one here. Let's jump into the G303, the Shroud edition. The reason I wanted to compare these two is, you know, they kind of have the egg shape going, but obviously the 303, it's just really hard to compare this to anything because it's such a unique mouse. This one goes for about $100 right now. So the fact that this one is quite a bit cheaper, you know, Logitech always comes with the great tech. They have the great wireless technology, all that stuff. I do like the switches way more on the Aria. And if you were to ask me differences between how they perform, I don't notice any slight difference with the performance over one another. So as you can see, this one kind of has more of a hump, but this one does feel higher because it kind of goes up more in the back where this one starts to taper off. And then there's a front, there's a back. And yeah, overall, I guess these can kind of be comparable with the egg shape. However, for those of you that know, this has an extremely aggressive downward angled inward slope, whereas this one is just kind of more relaxed and natural. So I feel like this would definitely be the safer shape, the safer option. You got the G303 Shroud Edition coming in at 72 grams, whereas again, the Aria coming in about 61 grams with the solid shell on top. So over 10 grams lighter. The noticeability on the weight difference is massive. Better switches, better weight. I definitely would think this is the better and the cheaper option, unless obviously you're a 303 diehard fan. Next up on the list, I don't really want to do a comparison with this mouse because it's not really a comparison. This mouse, the Aria, blows this mouse out of the water in every aspect, in shape, in buttons, weight. Absolutely, this thing's a tank nowadays. This is the original G Pro. And same thing, a lot of people are diehard G305 fans. There's what, the G203. I'm not sure I'm getting the names right, but I still know people personally that use those mice. Really quick, let's just do a quick shape comparison. That's all I really wanted to bring this in here for, because we are doing a battle of the egg shapes right now, and see what we think. So overall, the G Pro, the original G Pro, feels flatter. It feels longer. I actually used this mouse a long time ago when it first came out, so Cool stuff there. Pretty similar overall, but I feel like the Aria, again, I do prefer the shape on the Aria. This one does feel flatter. This one has a little more of a pronounced hump, but it feels good for the way that the mouse is designed. Here is the MM712, and the reason I decided to bust out this mouse is this mouse is $10 cheaper. It does come with a 3370, but I definitely think that it makes it a very viable option. As far as the switches go, I do feel like the switches on the Aria are a bit better, and of course the Aria comes with a better sensor, 3395. But my time gaming with this mouse, I actually mained this mouse for a little while, and I absolutely love the MM712. So I'm going to be dropping a full review on this mouse in the future, comparing it to other stuff. But the overall balance of this mouse, everything about it is just absolutely phenomenal. So this is another great option for you. And yeah, I know that this isn't really an egg-shaped mouse, but since it's in the same ballpark, it's kind of the same size if you look at it. It just doesn't have that egg shape, but it is very wide. So I'm not sure if you guys can see here. The back of it, so the back of the MM712 is about as wide, maybe even wider than the middle of the Aria. And then it curves in slightly towards the middle, but to be completely honest with you, it still is extremely wide. This is probably the widest smaller shaped mouse that's out on the market right now. And I love it. This one's got the rear hump though. So anyway, so let's check these out next to each other. Similar sizes. If you're looking more for like, and sorry about the mess there, I spilled some of my green tea on there. But yeah, so if you're looking for another great option, I feel like the MM712 is just an absolute banger. Between these two, again, I do like the clicks on the Aria a little better. Let's check out the weight. So as you can see there, it's coming in about 56 grams. So it is a bit lighter than the Aria. And does it feel lighter? It kind of does feel lighter when you're swiping it around, to be honest with you. It definitely feels more nimble and lighter. And, you know, like I said, I've used this mouse. It tracks great. And another reason why I brought this on here is like the Orichi, it's got that higher placement sensor, whereas the Aria is down kind of towards the middle. But to be completely honest with you, between these three mice, the shape that I prefer the most, I would have to go with the MM712. And honestly, I know the weight difference doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but for me, I like it. Another great option here. Both these mice are phenomenal. Again, it just comes down to you. What are you looking for? Do you prefer an egg-shaped style mouse? Like I said, the performance, I don't notice a difference so much between the two with the sensors. Both of them feel great. They feel absolutely phenomenal. So there's the MM712 for you. I figured I'd bring out the Atlantis Mini. This is the absolute banger of a mouse right now, coming in at only $90. So a little more expensive than this one, but it does feel a lot lighter. And this is, even though this is a small mouse and it's not as wide as Aria, it is a pretty wide profile mouse. Very popular at the moment, so I wanted to bust it out for you guys. So as you can see there, the Aria is a lot wider. I feel like the hump on the Atlantis Mini, even though it's in the rear, might be just slightly higher than the Aria's hump in the middle. But again, I normally don't like middle profile hump mice, but for some reason on the egg shapes, it doesn't bother me at all. I really do enjoy it. So, but that's what it looks like from the front right there. And that's what it looks like from the rear, the 51 grams. more than 10 grams lighter. It's a massive difference. It's a massive difference for me if you play really fast-paced shooters with high tracking in it. So yeah, just feels great. Really good stuff there from Fantech. I love this product. I think it's great. I love how they went above and beyond and try and make something that's unique, different on the market. And they did an absolutely incredible job doing it. In my opinion, they absolutely knocked it out of the park. When it comes to this type of shape right now, the egg shape, I definitely feel like this is the king on the market and it's dominating everything that's currently available. I really suggest you guys go check it out if you're looking at this. I know that it's a little more expensive than the Razer Orichi, but if you absolutely love the Razer Orichi and you're just looking for a better version, you're sick of swapping out the batteries, then do I think this is the mouse for you? Absolutely, I do. I think it's phenomenal. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching the video. I finally got my affiliate links up and running down in the description below. So if you like the channel and you want to show me support, I'd really appreciate it. But aside from that, if you guys have any questions, anything I can do for you, please let me know. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.